Hey, it's Jonas. Welcome to this video in which I will show you how I made $72.15 within 12 hours using an old school method that still works today, and how you can do it as well. Now, let's get started right away. So, I made $72.15 in 10 hours. It might have been 12 hours, 15 hours, something like that. And all in all, after a couple of days, it was $100. But from the first day, so you can see this was from October 6th till October 7th. And again, this was in 2012. So this was a couple of years ago, but I guarantee you it still works. And the reason that I can guarantee you that this still works is because people kind of use this method like without even over exaggerating 50 years ago, in a slightly different way, of course, because the internet was not there 50 years ago. But a very similar method worked, and I'll get to what it is in just a little bit. But I'm just saying that yes, this still works today. Now, will this work for you as well? Yes, probably, maybe. It kind of depends on where you live. I can't guarantee that it will work in every single country. I'm in Sweden right now, and it's kind of difficult to do here. If you live in the US, UK, Canada, and Australia, you'll have an easier time making this work. It's probably going to work a little bit better. And just a little note before we move on. If you plan on trying this method out once you've seen what it is, please watch the video till the end because there's some legal things I need to mention. It's not like this method is illegal or anything, but I just watch it till the end. So the reason that they work better in these countries I just mentioned, so again, UK, Canada, Australia, US, is because they have access to better offers on CPA Networks, especially when it comes to the kind of offers that you're going to want to use with this method. So that's a CPL offer, which is cost per lead, which means that someone will just have to enter their email address basically in order for you to get paid. So you don't have to sell anything. And there's a lot more of those offers in the US, for example, than compared to Sweden, where I am. So let's take a look at the offer that I promoted when I lived in Perth, Australia. We can see here that I got 72 clicks and 37 actions, which means that there was roughly a 50% conversion rate. And the cool thing is that this offer was actually a two-page offer, which means that first of all, they saw a page where they clicked when they clicked on my link, and it says something like enter your email, and they did that. And after that, they also had to enter their their name, address, and phone number. And these two-page offers, they typically don't convert very well with normal traffic sources, but with this one that I'm going to show you right now, the old school method, it converts incredibly well, and there's a reason for that. So it's flyer marketing, and again, I did say it's old school, and I meant that as well. This is handing out flyers, and I know what you're thinking right now, so I'm not comfortable doing that. And honestly, the first time that I heard about this method, I was kind of skeptical as well, because I knew right away, like, I would not feel comfortable just standing outside handing out like hundreds of flyers, but I decided to do it anyway a couple of times. But what you can do is you can outsource it really easily. So, I mean, if you have a kid, like you could kind of outsource this like a 5-year-old kid. Maybe you shouldn't, but I'm just saying that it's super easy work. The only thing you really need to do here is, well, I'll get to the step by step in a little bit, but I mean, it's only handing out flyers. That's the only thing you really need to do. So let me show you the exact ad that I used for this experiment. And again, this was back in 2012, and my ad looks terrible, but I think that's kind of fun though, because I still managed to get a 50% conversion rate from the people that actually clicked onto the ad. So this is the one that I used. Again, I used this when I lived in Perth in Australia, and there was something called IGA Perth Royal Show. It was like an event. There were I think there was like these kind of lottery wheels thing. You can win chocolate and some merry-go-rounds and things like that. And as you can see, this is the exact flyer layout that I used. I think I fit a total of 12 vouchers per paper, so that means that I didn't have to print a whole lot of stuff. Or I mean, I printed like 10 papers and I got 120 flyers, so I only printed a few papers actually. Can't remember exactly how many I printed, but I stood there for, I think, an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and I made $72. Which is pretty cool. So as you can see as well, my domain, I just purchased something that was kind of similar to where I went. So if you're going to do this, try and find a domain name that is kind of similar to what you want to do. So what do you need in order to do this? It's very simple. You need an account with a CPA network, so this can be Max Bounty or PeerFly. If you're not a member there right now, go and sign up. It's completely free. You will need to, with Max Bounty, I know anyway, you're going to need to talk to them, and they're going to ask you how you're going to promote our offers. This can be an issue if this is the first time you're doing online marketing, you happen to come across my video. They may not like it if you just say like, yeah, I'm going to do offline marketing. I haven't had any issues whatsoever on the times when I did try this, but they may want to hear something else. So if you have any issues with getting approved, feel free to let me know in the comments below, and I'll direct you to another video. And I'll show you some tips that can help you get approved. With PFly, I don't think you need to actually call them or be on a call. I think that you're going to be approved pretty much automatically, but I'm not 100% sure. It's been many years ago since I first got accepted into these. This was like 6 years ago, I think. So I don't know. Maybe it's changed. Anyway, what you're going to want to look for is cost per lead offers, and I'm going to show you that on the next page. Preferably single opt-in, which means that the person will only have to enter the name or email address, and you get paid. So that's what I did. I had a 2-page opt-in, which again, that's because I was in Australia and I didn't really have any good single opt-in offers. I had to do that. That was the second best thing. And I did that, and I mean, it still worked really well, even though I had a 2-page submit. And if you're in the US, for example, or Australia now as well, it depends, as I said. But you might find some good offers where they only need to enter their name and email and you get paid. In that case, that's awesome. It's going to convert super well for you. You also need a domain to redirect to your affiliate link / landing page. And you don't 100% need to get a domain to redirect it, but it's going to look so much more legit rather than if you have people like, hey, go to bit.ly/xwcnp. I mean, it's not going to look good. I would personally not click it if I saw something like that, because I would be like, okay, this just looks super strange. I'm not going to use this. But when I said here, you may want to use a simple landing page and not send people directly. This depends. If the offer says on Max Bounty that you can send direct traffic, in that case, it's fine. But I would personally, either way, always do a landing page. And just have something super simple again. So if I were to go to and do the same thing that I did a couple of years ago to Perth IGA, I would just say something, hey, what would I say? Okay, I probably should have thought about something before. Just super simple, like one sentence. Hey, everyone from Perth IGA show, click the button below to come to the to win the $300 with IJ, or for your chance to win, something like that. Something super simple. If you want a better explanation of this, let me know. I'll take a look at that and I'll record another video. But it's going to cost you roughly $5 to get a domain for 1 year. And if you go to Google and you type in GoDaddy coupon or something like that, like .com coupon, sometimes you'll find them for $1, which is super cheap. So I named mine Perth Royal Show again because this was good with the offer / area that I was in. I was at the Royal Show and I was in Perth. I just figured I'll just throw it together and just do something simple, and it worked really well. The third thing you'll need is printer and paper or access to it. So if you can go to an internet cafe or something, just print some papers out, that's cool. Black and white is completely fine. I did not use anything in any other color. So maybe I did, maybe it was blue on the URL, but in that case I'll just change that now. It can just be black. It's completely fine. So don't try and make it look fancy with palm trees or anything like that. Just do a super simple ad. It's going to work fine. Try and fit as many ads as possible in each paper so you don't have to print a ton, so you can save money on ink and papers basically. And that's pretty much the whole method. And if I still lived in Australia, I would totally do this offer. When I was in Perth, everyone I knew, they always wanted to go to Bali. And I think it was, if I remember correctly, it was like a 3.5-hour flight, and it was like $99 to get there. Hotels were super cheap. The food was amazing. And I went there myself like 5 times during the 2.5 years that I was there. And as we can see here, it says commission details, single opt-in, $2.80 per lead. Now, people will have to click like, why do you want to go to Bali? Who would you bring? Have you been there before? There's a couple of different questions, and then enter their email, I believe. Maybe it was a phone number. No, I think it was email, name, last name. And I think that was pretty much it. That's all they had to do, and that's super cool. So, I mean, if you live in Australia, and maybe you live in Perth, you probably already know that what I'm saying now is very true. People from Perth love going to Bali. In that case, this is totally something I would try out myself. And just another note, I'm recording this video as of right now. It's October 2nd, and this offer may not be available when you're seeing it. It's just an example. Again, also you don't live in Australia, so just take a look at the offers that you can find in your country. So if you live in the US, there's tons of offers that I can imagine will work really well. So what you can see in this picture here is from Max Bounty. You can see that I searched for United States, that's the country, and I typed in email submits, which you can see in the middle of this photo. And what we can see here is a lot of offers. There's 91 offers in total. And so an example of something that I think would work really well, again, iPhone 10, one field, it pays you $2 per lead, should work really well. $500 Walmart gift card would probably work really well as well. Get $100 Petco gift card. I think that would probably work well as well. I mean, you just need to think of something that people will be interested in. People love saving money. I love that myself. I mean, getting an iPhone 10, that's going to be one of the hottest phones of the year. That could probably work really well as well, as long as you make the ad look kind of just non-spammy. Don't make it look like super unrealistic, and don't do ridiculous claims. Don't just write like click here to, or go here to get an iPhone or something like false. Make it legit. And yes, one thing that I wanted to mention as well. When I started doing this method like 4 or 5 years ago, I can count from 2017 to 2012. I don't think it's like 5 years, something like that. But I knew a guy who outsourced this method to the US. It was a big event. I think it was like was it a flower event or something like that. And he had tons of people. I don't know, actually when I say tons, I don't know if it was like 5 or 10 or 15 people that he hired to give out flyers to everyone that basically went to the event. And he made over $20,000 in profit in a weekend, which is just insane. So I mean, this method does have a ton of potential. Again, though, I kind of understand if you don't want to do it yourself, but in that case, definitely consider outsourcing it. So what if you live in a country with what if you don't live in a country with good CPA offers? Can you still do this? As I said, yes, probably, maybe, kind of. You're not going to get as good results. I'm just going to be upfront with you right away. If you don't live in those countries, or just a country that doesn't have a whole lot of good CPL offers, it's going to be more difficult. However, I have tried this with a ClickBank offer, and this was in Australia as well. So I was standing outside of a football stadium, and I was promoting, it was called Get Free TV channel, something like that. I don't think that offer is still around, but I handed out flyers after people left for a football game, and I did make a couple of sales. I'm not going to lie and say that I made like $1,000. I didn't. I think I made maybe like $60, so it wasn't really worth it for me because I stood there for like 3 hours or something like that. And it was kind of boring, honestly. But it can work. So if you're right now, I need to make an extra $100 or something, and you do have a couple hours on your hands, and you can just stand out and hand out flyers. In that case, yes, it will probably work anyway, unless you live in a country where like there's no internet, perhaps, or like really bad internet, and you can't really stream TV stuff. In that case, something like that. But you can probably find semi-related offers in ClickBank as well. I mean, there's a ton of offers there. You can find something that's, I don't know, weight loss related or anything really. You're going to have to look that up yourself because I haven't really done that. But that's why it won't work as well as a CPL offer, because as I said, with CPL offers, they only need to enter their email address, and on ClickBank, they actually have to whip out their credit card and purchase something. So with a CPL offer, again, the only thing you need to do is get their email and name, and you get paid. With ClickBank, they have to purchase something. So one last thing, and this is important. Please check the laws in your country/state to make sure flyer marketing isn't illegal. Sorry, I missed that. Okay, so just double check. I personally had no issues whatsoever when I did this. No one ever told me that I couldn't. But if they were like, let's say you do go to an event or something and people just say you can't hand out flyers here, just go outside a little bit and just stand where people go from, I don't know, from the bus or something like that. And just make sure you double check this. I don't want you to get in trouble, and I'm not responsible for if you don't check this and then you do get in trouble, which I highly I can't speak, I've been talking for too long, which I even forgot what I was supposed to say. Point of this, I don't think you'll get in trouble, but please double check it anyway, so it doesn't say like if you hand out flyers in this area, you're going to get 10 years in prison. I don't want that to happen to you. I don't want you to end up in prison. So double check this. And that's pretty much it. So if you like this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. And if you want some more cool stuff at no cost, I do have a link in the description. You're going to have to enter your email address, and after that, I'll send out some cool stuff to your email. You can obviously unsubscribe at any time. I'm not going to trap you on my email list and just spam you all the time. If you don't want to be on my email list, you can leave it. But that's pretty much this method. So again, in short, you're going to be printing out flyers. You're going to put a domain name that redirects to an affiliate offer or landing page. I would suggest you to have a landing page. It's going to be required on a lot of offers. And if you don't know how to create a landing page, again, just let me know in the description below. I'll direct you to a video where where I'm talking about that, how to actually create a simple landing page and things like that. And I think that's it. So again, if you have any questions, let me know. And if you've tried this method yourself and you got some results, please let me know. That would be really cool. And yeah, so get started if you want to make some surprisingly easy money, and you're lucky enough to live in the UK or Australia, New Zealand, the US, or just one of the bigger countries, then you might very well be able to make a couple $100s with this method. You can make thousands of dollars as well. As I said, someone that I talked to when I lived in Australia, he made over $20,000 in a single weekend when he outsourced this. I mean, there's a ton of potential here. So if you want to give this a go for it. Have a great day. Thanks. I hope you liked the video.